friends, and welcome back to the SpeakUpElite English channel. Today's episode is a little different. I want to take you back to a day that quietly but deeply changed me. Not just because I flew on a plane for the first time, but because that day I realized I was capable of so much more than I thought. This isn't just a travel story. It's a story about fear, confusion, unexpected kindness, and quiet courage, told exactly how it happened. So go ahead, grab a cup of tea, and let me take you back to the day I flew for the very first time. I arrived at the airport before sunrise. The city was still half asleep, but my mind was wide awake and racing. My heart was pounding, my stomach felt tight, and for a brief second, I truly questioned everything. Was I ready for this? Could I really do it alone? Why was I doing something that scared me this much? I had never been to an airport before, and everything felt too big, too fast, too complicated. People were dragging suitcases in every direction. Announcements echoed across the terminal. Signs were blinking. The check-in line was long. I didn't even know where to begin. I felt completely out of place. But I kept walking. At the check-in counter, my hands were shaking slightly. I tried to act like I'd done this a dozen times before, but deep down I was just hoping I wouldn't mess anything up. Once I made it through security, I found a seat at the gate. It was quiet there, but my mind, still loud. I kept checking the flight screen every few minutes. Even though the gate was right in front of me, I couldn't stop worrying I'd miss the call. Then I noticed another girl sitting nearby. She looked just as anxious as I felt. We exchanged a small smile, and in that tiny moment, I felt something strange, like maybe I wasn't the only one pretending to be calm. When they finally announced boarding, my heart jumped. I stood up, grabbed my bag, got in line. Each step toward the plane felt both heavier and lighter. I was scared, but I wasn't running. This time, I was walking into it. And then I stepped inside the plane. That's when it really hit me. I was doing it. I was really going to fly. I found my seat, 21A, a window seat. I sat down, buckled up, and tried to breathe normally. Everyone around me looked so relaxed. Meanwhile, I was busy imagining every possible worst-case scenario. The engine started. The flight attendants gave their safety instructions. I watched every single move, probably more carefully than anyone else. Every announcement felt important. Every instruction felt like a lifeline. Then the plane began to move. Slowly at first, then faster. I gripped the armrest tight. I wasn't ready. I wanted it to stop. But it didn't. The plane lifted off the ground, and for a moment, I felt weightless. And then, we were flying. It took me a few minutes to adjust. My ears popped, my stomach flipped. I kept telling myself, just breathe. But then, I looked out the window, and everything changed. The city below looked like a tiny model. The clouds beside me looked like soft white mountains. The sky, it was painted with colors I can't even describe. Blue, orange, silver, soft white. And for the first time in days, my mind went still. I felt calm. No, more than that, I felt free. I had spent so many nights worrying about this moment, worried I'd mess up, afraid I'd panic, convinced I'd embarrass myself. But now that I was here, I didn't want the moment to end. A little later, the flight attendants came around with snacks and drinks. I took a cup of tea, not because I needed it, but because it felt like something people did when they were flying. It wasn't amazing tea, but in that moment, it felt like a reward. I had made it this far, and I was proud of myself. Eventually, the pilot announced we were preparing to land. I felt a strange mix of relief and sadness. Part of me was happy to return to the ground, but another part didn't want to leave the sky. The landing was smooth, just a small bump. We slowed down and began to taxi on the runway. I looked out the window one last time and smiled. When I stepped off the plane, I didn't feel like a different person on the outside, but something deep inside me had shifted. I had faced something that scared me, and I didn't just survive it. I experienced it, and I loved it. Alright friends, now that you've heard the full story, let's slow down and take a moment to learn from it. Because that flight wasn't just a life lesson for me, it's also full of real, powerful English expressions that you can use in your own life too. Let's learn these 10 useful phrases together. And as I explain them, I want you to imagine how you might use them in your own story. Phrase 1. Out of place. Have you ever felt like you just didn't belong? Like everyone around you knew what to do, except you. That's exactly what out of place means. In the airport, I felt completely out of place. You can use this when you're in a new city, a different culture, or even your first office job. Try this. I felt out of place at the fancy restaurant. Phrase 2. I tried to act like I'd done this before. This means pretending to be confident, even when you're not. We all do this sometimes, don't we? You can use this phrase when you're in a new situation but don't want others to know you're nervous. Example, it was my first interview, but I tried to act like I'd done it before. Phrase 3. My mind was racing. This is when your thoughts won't stop. You're overthinking, planning, worrying all at once. In my story, my mind was racing at the airport. You might say, before the exam, my mind was racing. Phrase 4. Mess anything up. This is a simple but super useful phrase. It means you don't want to make a mistake or ruin something important. I said I hoped I wouldn't mess anything up at the airport. You might say, don't let stress mess up your presentation. Phrase 5. Grab my bag and got in line. This one sounds simple, but it's great everyday English. Grab means take quickly. Get in line means to queue. So when you're at a shop or airport, say, I grabbed my things and got in line. Phrase 6. Each step felt heavier and lighter at the same time. This one's emotional. You're scared, but also proud. You're nervous, but also moving forward. It's perfect for those in-between moments of growth. Try this. Leaving my hometown felt heavier and lighter at the same time. Phrase 7. My stomach flipped. This describes the physical feeling of nerves, that uh-oh feeling in your belly. I said it during takeoff. You might say it before a big moment. When I saw my test score, my stomach flipped. Phrase 8. My mind went quiet. This means peace. A rare moment when your thoughts stop, when you feel completely calm or in awe. I had this moment when I looked out at the clouds. You could say, as I stood by the ocean, my mind went quiet. Phrase 9. It felt like a reward. Even a small thing, like a tea on the plane, can feel like a reward after stress. Use this phrase after you earn something. That nap after a long day felt like a reward. Phrase 10. Something inside me had shifted. This is deep English. It means something changed in you, quietly, permanently, emotionally. It's not about shouting or showing off. It's about real, personal growth. Try this. After that conversation, something inside me had shifted. All right. If you enjoyed this, make sure you're part of our SpeakUpElite 30-day English challenge. Every day we explore one useful topic with real conversations, natural vocabulary, and fun practice. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and comment below. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same cozy vibe.